You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the May 13th meeting for the LaPorte County Drainage Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
2025 Drainage Board meeting to order. We'll stand and have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Mark Scarborough. Chad Herchese.
Here.
Connie Grammarosa.
Present.
Jeff Mitzner.
Present.
Here.
John Matmission.
Here.
Sorry.
Can I have approval of minutes from last month's meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Motion passed. Countywide stormwater ordinance or status quo. And I want to remind everybody that this is plant season, so we're going to move right through this meeting pretty quick.
Okay, I'll just give a quick update on this then from attorney, and then this will supplement or replace my attorney report as well. So the board's been considering, looking at a countywide stormwater ordinance, kind of what Porter County has done versus just maintaining the status quo, with the goal of updating some of the assessments on some of the maintenance funds because they're not sufficiently being funded at this point years later. So as far as the procedure for updating or changing the assessments, Indiana Code 36-9-2742 covers that. And basically what the surveyor's office, or what you could even direct John South to assist with or to do, is they should be reporting to you the status of the ditches of the drainage funds, and basically saying whether they were underassessed, overassessed, in need of reconstruction, or maybe even need of being vacated. So just a simple report of identifying which ones are underassessed is really what you're looking for. And then you have the option at that point, you can increase the amount once without notice to the affected landowners if the increase does not exceed 25%. So you'd have to look back historically and see if any of those have been increased that one time.
So we got to go way back to when they were
Established.
Right.
Alternatively, if you're going more than 25%, or if you just want to bypass that whole one-time free, without notice, the way you change the assessment is you have to give notice to all the affected landowners at least 10 days prior to the meeting. Then the landowners have the right to come to that meeting, they have the right to object, and they have 20 days after you guys approve it to file an objection with the court. If they don't file an objection with the court, that change becomes effective. So it's not a long process for you guys to go through, but it starts with identifying which ones are currently underassessed and basically how much you think they need to be bumped up to match what the actual spending is on an annual basis for those ditches.
Okay, so
The alternative, right, is to do this countywide stormwater. And just a quick update on that, I've looked through all the ordinances on how Porter County got that established. That starts at the commissioner level, because remember, you guys all serve as a branch of the executive or as a commissioner's office. So what Porter County did is they initially kind of removed the non-elected officials from the drainage board. So that was kind of their first step, is saying we just want everybody on the drainage board just to be the executive branch. So they're commissioners. And then from there, they just absorbed it into a stormwater entity that they had created at a county level. So, but that all came from the commissioners. It really
So they made it like a committee almost?
kind of. Yeah, that's a good way of summarizing it. But again, that all came at the commissioner level. It didn't come at the drainage board level.
Okay, so we can talk after the meeting, because right now we're currently getting a board together for the MS4.
Okay.
And so as we're doing the MS4 and we're producing that, maybe we can talk hand in hand and we can work on this as well.
And that makes sense, because again, that's a higher level come from the commissioners. What this board could be doing or should be doing is working with the surveyor's office or working with your deputies to identify, and they've already started that. I mean, we've had those conversations. We know we've probably identified maybe half a dozen funds that are underassessed. Get that report to you, and then you could determine, which ones you want to increase, by how much you want to increase, and what process we have to go through to increase those.
Okay, well, as long as the John Squares are doing that, I guess, to And then he's got to go back and find out if we've already increased that, so he'll have to go back through the records to find that.
Yeah,
So-
or maybe Tony or Christine could have some recollection of that, which
Okay.
ones were.
So I guess,
Get a committee together. Why don't we'll talk right after the meeting and maybe we can get a committee with some members from this board. Because if it's the commissioners, if it's on the commissioners level and the commissioners appoint a committee, then we can figure out how we're going to appoint someone from these boards to help out.
okay, but
I see it as kind of two things moving
Yeah.
forward at the same time.
Okay.
that's what I was
higher
assuming,
level.
that's higher level, but we still need to know what John can do where we're under assessed for these and stuff, so I guess continue with both of those things. You guys good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, White and Ditch maintenance project.
I sent you guys an email with kind of a brief update on what's going on out there. I'll just go over those real quick again. We were out there Friday with Al Alsop, and Pat Vance went with us too. Took us about an hour to go through all 3 sections. We marked 75 trees for removal. There was 2 sheds. There's a landscaped area with about a dozen pine trees on one of the properties. There was a fence that needs to come out. Some of those trees, when Al was out there, he marked them, but it's possible he may not have to remove them. He won't know until he gets out there and gets the equipment there. But most of the ones were marked are definitely going to be removed.
Okay.
And there was another issue. I thought Pat might want to talk about that.
One of the things we saw, well, me and Connie had made a trip out there with County Highway because she talked about possibly getting some of the down trees. One big one they had told us about that was down in the White Ditch out. It's in an area where County Highway can't touch it. We observed a bunch, you have pictures of them, as a matter of fact, when John was there,
I printed
Yeah.
2
of trees downed in the White Ditch, which would be in addition to him doing the maintenance on it. We should definitely probably have those trees removed.
Yeah, I think it's probably an emergency level event because one of them is completely blocking.
So there's no
And so
water
what we were
flowing
talking about was
underneath it?
additional, so since he's in there doing the,
It's pretty
if we
shallow.
want him
so
to do
might
it
not
while
be-
he's doing the actual ditch project, we need to basically say that as a board and maybe have some additional funds so that he can clear those trees out.
So are we wanting to send him in before he starts digging?
Oh,
I don't think it can wait till
okay.
fall.
So what's that going to cost us?
Well, he said 2,500 to 5,000, that range.
Yeah.
That's a big range. That's a very big range.
Well, he thinks he said 5,000, but he's pretty sure it's going to be less.
See, when we went down there, the water was still running. There wasn't any
mean,
backup, but I
is
don't
it-
know how it's going to be through the summer. I
Is
mean,
it-
you think that it was already stopping it?
This is the great.
I think so because it's not. The water's pretty shallow through there. 'Cause this is between Oakdale and El Portal. It's that stretch.
Can you send back those pictures?
The one good thing is there aren't any homes nearby where this is at. It doesn't. It's in the area that's a lot of vacant lots.
No, all he'd have to do there is the split rail fence to get past that to go down there.
And that was pretty easy to remove.
Well, you can probably bring a mini in to get these, I'm assuming. So do I have a motion to do this emergency work, not less or not greater than?
I'll make a motion that do we need to put this out for bid or?
No, it's
Okay.
emergency. We're telling them to go do it.
All right, I make a motion, we put out for emergency to have this work done in the White Ditch, that is take these trees out, no more than $5,000. Sorry, $3,000. Let me amend that, no more than $3,000.
Do I have a second?
Okay,
Oh.
open for discussion.
Okay.
So here's my question. It's just, how many trees are there? Was it just the one tree?
There's 2. There's one that's not as bad, but it's fallen down across, and if anything comes down
When we went past it,
the ditch, it's going to get stuck in there.
water in here, it looks like.
Well, the bad part about it is the water is,
Yeah. if
the
it-
water's low
as it
right now.
falls
If we
down.
get a big storm, then we're really going to have a problem if it's holding back.
It's just one tree, though. It's 2 trees. Okay,
I'm not
call
for
that.
spending this money either. But
yeah, call it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Drain crossing application, Berner Ditch, Surf Internet.
Yeah, this one, I don't think we're going to need Tony's services for this. This is just a conduit that Surf Internet's going to put underneath the Behringer. It's going to be at least 4 feet below the ditch.
Motion accepted.
Motion to accept it.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Bank spraying notices were sent out.
Yep, I just wanted to update. I sent out 129 letters yesterday to the homeowners along the ditches. I didn't put anything in there about the people that wanted to skip. So I'm anticipating phone calls from those roughly dozen people that have been skipped in the past. And I want to verify what the advice is going to be that I should give them.
If they want skipped, they got to spray their own, and they got to show proof that they sprayed it.
Okay. All right.
Because if not, we're spraying it.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think we instructed the guy who's going to do the spraying too that he was going to go down and spray it, and if he had a problem, he needed to contact us or the sheriff, wasn't it? We told him.
Well, yeah, that's a given, because when he goes in there and starts spraying, somebody's going to complain. So, was he spraying that with the drone?
Mm-hmm. Most of it. I think he said 70% was going to be drone, and then
Just a little area of backpack.
Well, I think he's got a four-wheeler he's got set up on. So, they're going to have to show proof that they're going to spray it.
okay.
Otherwise, we're going to spray it. Any other questions on the bank spraying?
When is that scheduled?
June
June
15th.
15th. Beaver Dam removal, West Arm Bull Ditch bids.
We got one bid.
Give me the letter.
Put it out for bid just in case it was a bid.
This is from Davy Resource Group. Wow. Beaver Dam removal, firm fixed price, $22,000. Must be one heck of a beaver dam. Is it that big?
No, it's not really. It's not that big. Let me see if I can bring up a photo. Check here first.
Also, happy to discuss why that rate cost.
Oh, you're here?
Yeah.
Come on up.
Come up to the,
Come up to the mic, please.
There's
Make sure the mic is turned on.
a couple shots. There's a farther one.
Hi, everyone. My name's.
should be.
It's on. It's on.
All right, awesome. Hi, everyone. My name's Clay. I'm a representative from Davy Resource Group. My office is based out of South Bend, Indiana, but we service all of northern Indiana and southwest Michigan. We actively work with drainage boards and county surveyors on a wide array of services. Vegetation is kind of our main, vegetative management is our main bread and butter. We also do logjam removals and obstruction removals like beaver dams. Now, the reasoning behind this inflated rate is because of the time constrictions. It's to be completed by June 1st. After award of tentative this week, we have a initiation process on our own side. Because you guys are a prospective new client on our end, we haven't worked with you guys. We have to go through an internal billing process to get it set up, and then we have to quickly mobilize equipment and crew, which has already been hard scheduled, until pretty much the end of June. So this is a rate in which we can utilize staff outside of our northern Indiana office and equipment outside of our area here. I understood going into this that we weren't potentially going to be able to work with you guys on this just because of that figure and time constraint. But yeah, this is a service that isn't, out of our wheelhouse. We have hydraulic driven attachments, high pressured winches that can pull log jams out, minimize impact to the ditch bank. We have large excavators, mini excavators. You guys probably know Davy Tree in itself is a really large, parent company of ours. But is there any other additional clarifications you guys are looking for? One thing, sorry, before I hear your responses, to avoid any fill material permits, we are to take all of the actual obstruction off-site, and there's disposal fees built into that cost. So all of that material taken out of the beaver dam, we are hauling and disposing outside of the working area. Otherwise, if you were to just push it downstream, that's potential for risk for your other constituents, and also you'd have to go through a construction of fill material permit.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
I'd make a motion to table this.
Hold on. Who before we do that,
Okay.
can I have a little discussion first?
Yeah.
Who called us in? Is it impacting anybody's farm field?
Yes, it's the
Who
Michael
is it?
Smith was who called it in. He doesn't own farm field, but his back end of his property, south end, is flooded. And I noticed when we were out there that the farm field to the southwest of where the dam is starting to. There's a lot of water in the corner of the field. I don't know how many acres are impacted, but it's impacted.
Okay, so first of all, can I have a motion to not accept this bid?
Yeah, make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Let's put this down as an emergency. It is farming season.
Okay.
Let's call our local guys and see who can go out and get it done.
Okay.
Can we, Brett, can we make a motion to give the president the authority to make a decision on behalf of the board?
Up to a certain amount, yeah.
So how, what do you want?
Well, whatever-
yeah. So we
If
can't
it goes
give
above
a,
that amount, then, yeah, it can be in the motion. You can award it up to a certain amount. But the request or the letter that went out said the project shall begin immediately and be completed by June 1st. Is there a reason for that June 1st cutoff? Is that a seasonal thing, or is that just?
Yeah, we just wanted to get it done as soon as possible.
planting season.
And planting corn, if it's going to start affecting the cornfield, we got to move on it.
Right, I understand.
I think the property that is impacted is Vader, Tom's Vader. I think it's his property. Is where that.
With an emergency too, though, you can always find out and then do a email vote. to
Okay,
approve.
then that works too.
'Cause
I just wanna
otherwise
make
you're
sure
gonna make
that-
the motion in the blind.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we gave someone authority, but if we can do it in an email, then that works too.
Or you can give me authority, whatever you guys want to do. You just tell me.
We don't have a dollar amount, so to give you authority, I need to have a dollar amount.
And we don't want to give that dollar amount out. I got one in my
We
head.
don't know
but
what it
we'll go
is.
from there. So,
Yeah.
do I have a motion to make this an emergency, and we'll do this by email?
I move that we make this an emergency, this beaver dam removal on the, is this Bull Ditch?
Bull Ditch.
Yes.
Second.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Drain crossing application, White Ditch, NIPSCO.
Yeah, this is another one I don't think we need to send to Tony either. All this is they're replacing a overhead line to a residence.
Motion to accept this.
Motion to accept drain crossing application for White Ditch for NIPSCO.
Second.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Monthly reports, Hudson Lake.
Georgette Joyce, 7299 East Hudson Point Lane, New Carlisle. The lake is at just under 8 inches. No incidents. The drain is closed, hoping for rain. For Taylor Ditch, John Law from St. Joe County was targeting mid-April to complete the grading and cleaning out of the Taylor Ditch. His contractor wasn't able to do it, so he had to hire a new one, and hopefully the new one will be starting the job this week. Got to get it done before planting, right? And then for the drain agreement, we did secure a mobile phone number, but we have to get it set up. And once we get all that set up, we'll share it with the board and the DNR and the surveyor's office.
Okay. Anybody got any questions? Brad?
Already covered attorney report.
John?
I think to say this.
Okay. Joint boards, I got nothing on that. Claims, Vero Services LLC tree removal, Little Kankakee, $85.50. That was in the scope of the bid, correct? Motion,
Motion that we pay that claim for Vero Services tree removal, Little Kinky Ditch.
second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Charles Hendricks drain crossing application review, $50. That leaves us $24.85 available after this claim is paid, correct?
Motion to pay?
Second.
Second.
Is your real name Charles? Really? Okay. Didn't know that. Is there any public comment?
We didn't
Could we have a
vote.
vote on?
Oh, sorry, I got to vote on this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Come on up.
Diana Douglas, Michiana Shores, White Ditch. I had a couple questions from our park board. First is a comment that if we know when, it's nice to know if someone's coming, that the work is going to take place, we'll take down those, the fencing. You know, the park volunteers will take it down.
Okay.
We don't want to take them down all summer long if nobody's working in there because it keeps people with, those ATVs and golf carts off of the track. Okay. So that would be very good. Second is I just sent them to, I think I sent it to John, the pictures, but we have these receptacles that are out on, may I come?
I saw the pictures. He sent it to us.
And, so that the volunteer who's working on it needs to put in new slats in that, container. And then on one side, that's for dog refuse or other trash. And then we've got a post farther towards the woods, away from the ditch, where there's a little, box where you can get doggy bags, out of them. So that what they want to know, simple question is, should he work on it? Does it need to be removed? Or will the equipment be able to get around?
It's going to need to be removed.
It should be removed.
Yes, before he comes in there, but he's not coming in until fall, but it'll have to be removed in the fall.
Okay, all right, I'll let him know that. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, and then there were, I guess, a couple of trees that are marked on the walking side. So those are trees that are being recommended to be removed before any work takes place. Is that what it is? With the red dots on them?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Those are ones, everything that's got, correct me if I'm wrong, everything that has a red dot will be removed by us if it's not removed by you,
Okay, I got it.
correct?
Yes.
All right, great. Okay, thank you. That's
But he also marked, it was just, some of them he wasn't sure, but we told him mark them just in case. So that way there's a couple he might be able to work around, but basically assume they're going to be removed by him if they're not removed by the people.
Okay, so the people that have the pine tree, the shed, and the fence know that has to all be moved, correct?
There are several sheds along the way. so-
Well, the fence and the one shed were on your property. And
Okay,
Yeah.
the shed is 16 feet off the top of the ditch, and he said he needs two 8-foot lengths.
yeah, because
Five.
he said he won't be able to turn. When he needs to turn, he won't be able to do it.
The fence, I know, the fence we took down before already, so, okay.
But her shed's got to be removed too, right?
Or moved, if you move it towards your house. It's not going to need to be a lot, but it needs to be moved out of.
Because it is, we measured it out, and it was over 16 feet in that area, so, since he said he needed 16 feet, we thought it may be fine, but. okay.
16 feet. He told you 16 feet's enough for him to turn?
He didn't tell me that, but he just said he just stood there and said he needed this, that it was going to be in the way, because he was showing that if he's pulling his.
Okay, so there's no discussion when he comes in with the backhoe. Let's make sure we get it off the easement.
I got it.
Okay.
I'm just checking in, and especially with the others, thank you.
Somebody is trying to call me from.
My name's Sam. Sorry, my name's Sam Martin, 11440 East 750 South, Culver, Indiana. I'm a nuisance wildlife trapper, and I wanted to come up and ask about the material from the dam when it's removed from the ditch. Is it to go along the ditch on any specific property? Is it supposed to be on 50% on both sides or on just one property? How is the easement on this situation? Is it 70 feet from the center Of the ditch?
Top of bank.
Both ways?
75 feet on both sides of the ditch, top of bank.
Top of bank, okay. And the beaver trapping, I'm most interested in that. I have a partner that has an excavator. At that point in time, do you guys want $1 million liability on both of us? Or what's the situation there?
I think it's just for the company, right?
Whoever's taking the bid.
Just whoever pulls the ditch?
Yeah.
Because I have $1 million liability through my homeowner's insurance, and I would trap and have no problems. I'd be able to tear those beaver out of there in no time. I know that my partner has his own excavating business. He does. He's a licensed and bonded contractor through LaPorte County. He digs a lot of septics and crawl spaces and whatnot. So, like I said, I need to know, do you guys want to have
It does not need
trucked out?
It does not need to be trucked out. It can just be put on the bank far enough away so the beavers can't turn around and pull it back in just in case they don't get trapped. And that does bring up a good point. We probably should try to trap the beaver if, you know, we're going to take it out and it's still going to be there.
Yeah,
So
they're going to come back.
why don't you get with John after the meeting and he can take your information and you can give us a bid.
He has it. He called me and then emailed me.
Yeah.
My name's Sam Martin, like I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Okay,
think that's
thank you.
all I have for now. Thank you very much.
Yep. Anybody else? Well, with no other public comment, our next meeting will be June 10th, 8:30.
To adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second. Motion adjourned, or meeting adjourned.
Nice.